I know I may have talked about how being a redhead in the country that I live in, I really stand out. And when I say a redhead, I mean when I've been dyeing my hair red since 93. And I'm always the only person with that kind of red. There are reds out there that I don't like. Like, I don't like an urban, I don't like a mahogany red, I don't like a red with brown undertones. I don't like those reds. I like a real true red, a fire red with orange underneath it. Vibrant red. Sometimes I want the muted reds, yes, but not auburn and dark reds, like more browns and things like that. I love my reds with copper in it. And I always forget that my hair is red. And the redder it is, the less I even remember that my hair is that bright red. It's only when I go shopping or I'm in a place with lots of people and I suddenly feel self-conscious because people are looking at me. Not everybody, but the people who are giving you looks. And it's usually, I don't know what is going on in their minds, but you know that it's like you're an oddity. And then you get the odd people who love it and will tell you and will ask you how you got that color. And of course, the color that they're seeing is not the color that they're going to get, because my hair has different shades of reds from previous colorings and dyings, right? And it feels a little lonely in the sense that even if your hair's not dyed red, okay, the most you might see is people's, but you won't even know that it's not their hair color, browns and blacks and stuff like that. Even blonde, I don't even see that. And over the years, we've had a variety of colors and then nothing. And we're at the stage now where I can't even find red. But I knew going to the Balkans, to Slovenia, to, those, to southern Europe, southeast Europe, that I would see people with hair color. I don't know why I felt that way, but I know that because usually even the people whose hair is dyed blonde here, they're not from this region. They're always from somewhere in Europe. And the more platinum the blonde, the more European they are. And that's just how I have deduced it. So I just knew that I'll see more kinfolk. And I did. Even at the airports. The further away I got out of this region, this continent, then I saw different shades of reds. And it was lovely to see. I did not intend to photograph or take pictures of them. It was after a while. And I thought, oh my goodness, I should be capturing some of this. But there was a lady I wish I could have taken a picture of her. She was elderly. Definitely either in her late 70s or 80s, riding a bicycle in white, and her hair was scarlet red, and it just was beautiful. And that's what I liked. There were more older women with the red, and they were oblivious to how red their hair was and didn't even care about it. I didn't get to capture them because I didn't go there thinking I was going to capture pictures of redheads. But when I did, I also didn't want people to feel I was taking pictures of them. And I didn't really, you never know. In this social media world, you never know where your picture would crop up. So I tried to be as discreet as possible. Try and catch the back of their heads or a view that is not so, intrusive. But it was nice. And then it was nice to walk into a store and have a plethora of reds to choose from. I missed that. I I miss that. And I had to even stop myself. But I loved it. I really loved just, it was like be a kid in a candy store, you know. Every time I talk about red hair, people ask me why my hair is red, why I dyed red. I can't tell you why my hair is red. But my mother said as a child, as a baby, anything red that came my way, I would reach out for it. Anything I own that is red, I did not buy it. It either was bought by my mother or my sister. But I never actually go out of my way to buy red clothing. So if you see me wearing red clothing, know somebody bought it for me or gave it to me. But I think there's something of the color, because my uncle always asked me, why does your hair have to be red? And I said, I don't know, but all I know is when I'm going to dye my hair, I feel wonderful. It makes me happy. You know, and if that's what makes me happy, then so be it. I remember when I would be walking with my dad, he would say, don't walk too close to me. I don't want people to know you're with me with that red hair of yours. And then I would just grab his arm and hook it so he has no choice. And I feel like it's my self-expression without me making an effort to go out of my way and say, I just want to dye my hair red. And as I'm speaking, I'm wondering to myself, why these women also dye their hair red? I'm now thinking about that. Why red? Not blonde, not black, not blue. I did see a young girl when I went to buy matcha, and she was a trainee. I think that was her first day, and her hair was half sort of like a lightish blue, like a pastel-y blue and white and platinum. And I asked her where she bought color from, and she gave me directions to a place. This is in Ljubljana. And it was nice to see that she was one of very few, you know, but mostly I saw a lot more redheads than any other color. And it was just nice. I just believe in self-expression. And fortunately, I grew up in a house where my parents encouraged that. You know, express yourself, be yourself. You know, don't follow. Don't, you know, do you, you know. They never forced us to do anything like follow this path, or you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or because we are, or somebody, you know. No. You do what you know you can do well at. They didn't even say it. They just let us be, you know. But it was nice to just see, you know, little redheads around, you know, and also natural redheads, not just dyed red hairs, even though they seem to be more the dyed kinds like myself than the actual redheads. But there were a lot of natural redheads too. I think by the time, and this is true through my trip in terms of at the airports and stuff like that. So I wasn't even thinking that I was going to start capturing the redheads, but there were little children with red hair, and you know, quite a few natural redheads. So I just came to share this with you. It's about connection, feeling a connection with people that you don't know. Just because their hair is red, they woke up and decided they're going to dye their hair red. Standing behind the natural redheads. And just, I think we redheads don't even notice each other. It's not a thing, you know. And I felt less of a... people didn't look at my hair. I didn't feel self-conscious. because nobody stared, nobody looked at my hair like, oh, why is your hair red? Like my, like, it is an oddity. You in terms of ethnicity, not redhead is not a color that you're going to see on just any black person, right? Although there are redheads, there are what we call it is like it's not albinism, but it's somewhere along there where they have red hair. Yeah, of course, I think it's beautiful. But yes, I just was happy that I could get my hair color. It was nice to see other redheads, different hues of red, and finding them in a totally different region of the world, especially in a place where I felt was home. Ljubljana was home to me in more ways than one. And anyway, it was nice to see kinfolk. Let me know in the comment section how you feel. Who are your kinfolk? In what sense? Is it people who are only architects? People who only wear certain type of clothing? What is it? Or come from a different region? My kinfolk are my redheads. And there is a little story I have where I went to a retreat. It was one of those alternative therapy retreats where this was years ago, at a time when alternative therapy wasn't really visible as it is now. So it was a retreat where we learned about gems and all kinds of things. We did what you call Reiki, and it was such a beautiful retreat by one of the leading magazines at the time. I can't remember if it was Elle or one of those type of magazines, and it was in South Africa, in Johannesburg. And then we had to break up in groups, but you had to break up in groups by choosing a gem. They had a bowl of crystals or gems, whatever you call it, semi-precious stones, and you chose one, and that's the group that you would be in. And would you believe it, the group I was in, everyone was a redhead, whether they were born with redhead or had dyed their hair red. Everyone, the men and the women in that group, all of us were redheads. So I leave you with that story. Coincidence? Serendipity? What was that?